Hello friends, welcome once again to First Class Solutions. Today we're providing solutions to this problem we have on the board. This is a calculus problem that wants us to calculate the profit maximizing output of a firm that has this total cost function and this demand curve. The demand curve here is a function of price. Before delving into this, what we need to understand first of all is that marginalist principle. That marginalist principle that states that a profit maximizing firm will be at equilibrium when its marginal cost is equal to the marginal revenue. But the marginal cost and marginal revenue are not given here. For us to get that marginal cost and marginal revenue and equate it from which we get our profit maximizing output, we need to first of all understand that marginal cost is being obtained from total costs. You understand? And in this case, to get your marginal cost from your total cost, you have to take the first derivative of your total cost with respect to the quantity. Respect to quantity. So in this case, to get our marginal cost, we need to derive our total cost. And here is our total cost function. That means to say that to get the marginal cost, which is part of what we need to get first, is to take the first derivative of this. And to get the marginal revenue, we need to calculate for our total revenue. Because marginal revenue will be obtained from total revenue, just as marginal cost was obtained from total cost. So in that case, to get our total revenue from which we take the first derivation, mind you, marginal revenue is equal to total revenue, the differentiation of total revenue with respect to what? To output. That is the TRDQ. So in this case, we just simply need to calculate for our total revenue, first of all, from which we will now get our marginal revenue. We already have our total cost from which we will get our marginal cost. So the first thing first is to calculate for the marginal revenue. What is our marginal revenue? Our marginal revenue, remember, marginal revenue is price times quantity. And for you to get the quantity, this quantity is already here. You need to just simply calculate for your price. So to make P solve to a formula which we have here, we simply write out this. We say Q is equal to 24 minus 0.2P. It means that here we now have 0.2P equals to 24 minus Q. So to have our P alone, we can multiply both sides by 5 to get our P alone. So if we multiply by both sides by 5, we have 0.2 multiplied by 5. We have 1. 0.2 multiplied by 5 is 1.0. So we have 1P. So we don't need to write 1P. We simply have our P being equal to 24 times 5 as well. We have 120, that is 120 minus 5Q. So if you have 120 minus 5Q as our P, it means that the price is this. But we remember we are looking for total revenue. So it means that total revenue, will obtain that by multiplying price times what? Times quantity. Like TR is obtained when you multiply price by quantity. And in multiplying price by quantity, we already have our price function here. So that means to say total revenue, as we observe here, is price times quantity. This is our P function, that is our price function. So we have 120 minus 5Q, which is price, times Q again, so as to get our total revenue function. Looking at what we have here, P times Q equals to TR. So it implies further that if we have our P, we can simply just multiply it by Q to get our TR. So that is exactly what we did here. So if you want to multiply out to get the actual TR function, we have 120 by Q, we have 120Q, minus 5Q times Q, we have 5Q squared. Then that means to say that our total revenue function is 120Q minus 5Q squared. Remember again, that is not actually the total revenue that we're looking for. We need to get the total revenue to obtain our marginal revenue. So the first derivation of total revenue, that is the TRDQ, will give us our marginal revenue. So in this case, to get our marginal revenue, which is our MR, it becomes the TR, the Q, since it is expressed in terms of Q. It means the first derivation of 120Q minus 5Q squared. If we take derivation of 120Q, we have 120 minus derivation of this, we have 2 times 5, we have 10 minus Q squared, 2 minus 1 becomes 1. So we have 10Q raised to power 1, which is the same as 10Q. So in this case, this is our total, our marginal revenue. That is the first derivation of total revenue, gives us our marginal revenue. So if we obtain our marginal revenue, the next thing we need to get is our marginal cost. Our marginal cost is obtained from the total cost given. So we derivate our total cost to get our marginal cost. Let's take the first derivation of our total cost. Total cost is given as 35 plus 40Q. CC equals to 35 plus 40Q. So it means further that MC, which we are looking for, when we are told that it is the derivation of the total cost here. So our MC, which is marginal cost, now become the derivation of 35. 35 is a constant, remember. So when you take the first derivation of the 35, it becomes 0. So 0 plus 40Q. 40Q, take the first derivation of 40Q. You have 40. You have 40. So it means that our MC is equals to 40. While here our MR is equals to 120 minus what? 10Q. Remember again that what we needed to do, the marginal principle, is when you equate marginal cost with marginal revenue, the quantity that you will get will become the profit maximizing quantity, like the profit maximizing output of that firm. That profit maximizing output is that output that the firm will produce, that the firm will now have its maximum profit possible. So in this case, we're having marginal cost to be 40 and marginal revenue to be 120 minus 10Q. So following the marginalized principle, where when MC equals to MR, we get 120 minus 10Q being equals to what? Being equals to 40. So we call it like terms. We have 120 minus, bring 40 into this place, becomes minus 40. Take this one to the other side, equals to 10 what? 10Q. 120 minus 40, we have 80 equals to 10Q. So if you divide both sides by 10 to get our Q, we divide it by 10, divide it by 10. So 10 cancels 10, implies that our Q is equals to 80 divided by 10, we have 8. So this implies that the profit maximizing output for this firm, it might be, let's say the firm is any firm that you want to think about that has this total cost and this demand function. It means that the profit maximizing output of that firm will be 8 units of the firm's product. Yes, that is it. Thank you very much for listening to this point. And do well to share this video to your friends, and as well, encourage them to like the page for more of something like this. God bless you.